Shaffer, one of our offensive linemen. I'll just turn it over to you, Mike, first. You can have the first question. Questions for Caleb.
Caleb, you were facing a top 10 team and with a lot of big linemen and kind of young up front. How was it up there on the first outing of the year?
I think we were actually very well prepared for the game. Looking back, I know what the score says, but I want to give a major credit to our coaching staff. They actually prepared us extremely well. You know what I'm saying? Well, a lot of credit to Coach Patton, Coach Martin. They made sure we were over prepared for the game. They're big and physical, just like us, but they had to put their pads on just like we did and go out and fight and compete. At the end of the day, I'm very proud of our guys. Nobody backed down. In that locker room, there wasn't any talk of effort or anything. We left it all out on the floor at the end of the day. And so, they had a better football team that day, but at the end of the day, it's game 1 of 12, real long season, and, I don't know, my mind kind of keeps going back to, I think of 2019, we dropped the ball the first game too, but look how things end. So to me, it's never where you start at the end of the day, Like I said, they went out, they played a little harder than we did, and like Coach Martin says, you get what you deserve, but we're going to come back in and prepare just as hard this week to, give ourselves an even better chance to win, just like we're going to do these other 11 weeks. So
what'd you learn from the videos that you didn't know, like right after the game? Was there anything?
In terms of just like the game itself, or just?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'd say kind of the biggest lesson was you just got to keep fighting. One of the biggest, I'll give credit to our team. I didn't see one head hanging. I didn't see any bad body language. I didn't see anything of the sort. Like, you just have to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Even when it looked out of reach, we didn't stop, and we're never going to stop because that's the way we've been coached to do things. We're always going to keep going towards the end, and so kind of the mood in the locker room at the end, reflecting on it, we were just we just had to get ready. Coach Martin was just like, they outplayed us, but at the end of the day, we're still a better team than we realized. It's just going to be a process. This whole thing's going to be a process. That's why there's 12 games in a season and not one. Your Week 12 play is not going to look the same as your Week 1 play. And so we just have to keep trusting the process, keep fighting, showing up to work every single day. And I know our guys in our locker room, that's exactly what we're going to do, which is why, frankly, I'm excited for what's coming.
Was there any ebb and flow to it? I mean, sometimes a team can go out there and, it's not going well at first, but they kind of build on it. Was any of that going on during the course of the game?
I wouldn't say ebb and flow. I think we stayed pretty consistent throughout the entire game. Every time we came out as an offense and defense, we came out there to compete and try and get them off the field or get in the end zone. Did it happen as much as we'd like it to? No, it didn't. But at the end of the day, everyone was consistent. The mood never changed. I give credit to our quarterback, A.J. Mayer. I mean, his attitude the entire game was top tier. He was consummate professional all the way through. Every time we came out, he was just ready to lead us, ready to have our backs, and vice versa. On my line, credit to my guys, Sam Vaughn, Rusty Feth, David Redding, and Reed Holsky. Reed and Sam, that was their first start as college football players to start. But, they were steely-eyed the entire time. They came out ready to fight, and, I was just real proud of everybody and the way they competed. And so, yeah, like you said, the game, had its moments, 3 and out, or, defense let up a touchdown, but we come right back to that sideline with positive energy and say, hey, let's go get them the next time, There's a reason the game is 60 minutes. It doesn't stop after just one possession. You keep on fighting. And so it's not going to be any different, going into any other game,
Caleb, I know it's early in the week, but what can you tell us, like, up front, what kind of challenges does Minnesota bring?
Very, very big players for that guy. Very big guys. I'm not even going to lie to you. It's the Big Ten. Everybody's big, everybody's talented. Scheme-wise, obviously, we have to still break that down and figure it out. But like I told you earlier, these are guys at the end of the day. Like, I'd say here we respect our opponents 100%, but we're not immortalizing anybody. They're human beings just like us. They got to go play just like us. But I give a lot of respect to them. Their front seven is pretty talented. They got some big, strong guys up front, but so do we at the end of the day. We're going to come out there. We're going to spend this whole week planning how to, combat them, and we're going to come out and put our bodies into people because we're not scared of anybody, and we never have been. And so we're going to give them full respect going into the game, but we also know what we got to do, and that we have a job to do. We're going to get it done.
Is there like a chip on your shoulder anyway that this is a Big Ten school and maybe you thought you could have played at that level or anything like that? Is there a different motivation when you're going up against a Big Ten team?
Not necessarily. I know, like, my recruitment did come down to here in a Big Ten school, but at the end of the day, I'm respectfully, but honestly, I wasn't just looking for a name to commit to. I was looking for people and an organization to commit to. And the reason I love this school so much is because of the people. So many good people run this organization through and through. I've made so many friends, connections. There's so many genuine people here who care about me and my development and the development of my teammates. And so I wouldn't say necessarily no, there's not a chip on my shoulder there because I'm right where I belong, and there's no other place I'd want to be.
Guys, this is Mike Brown. Questions for Mike. Mark, I'll turn it over to you first.
Ask you the same thing I asked Caleb there. After looking at the film, is there anything you realized about the game on Saturday that you didn't know, like right after the game?
No, it was pretty easy. The things that we messed up on is things that we could easily fix. Just coaching, the little stuff that we've been coached, just playing our technique and bad eyes. I know on my part, just having bad eyes and stuff that definitely can be fixed. So it's hard to watch it after the game because everything that went wrong is something that could be fixed. It wasn't a physical problem. It was more mental than everything. So that was an aspect I took after the game.
It looked like Cincinnati had some serious speed out there in a lot of places, and including the receivers and that. Was it about what you expected, and are you expecting more of the same with Minnesota's wide receivers?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Cincinnati has athletes all around the field. We know that. They definitely took their chances and exploited our defense. But like we said, going against it again next week, we got to correct on what we need to correct and just get better moving in week 2.
How disappointing is it that you're not able to get over the hump against those guys, and you've got the whole victory bell thing, the rivalry and everything, but it's up to 15 now. That's got to be a little frustrating for you, or a lot frustrating.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating, but then again, it's football, and all you can do is control what's next. So, all we can look forward is playing Minnesota. You can't dwell on week 1 because it's a long season. We got 11 more opportunities in the regular season, and so we got to just move on to the next game. As much as we wanted to beat Cincinnati, we didn't. So now we can just do what we do to beat Minnesota in week 2.
All right, Mike. I have no idea how you're going to answer this question because you're still pretty young. But play at Minnesota 9/11, be 20-year anniversary. Like you were probably like 2 or 3 when all of that happened. But I guess when you were growing up, like what did you hear about that? How did what have you learned from that kind of situation? Just kind of talk to that a little bit.
That's a good question. I know from my aspect, I used to always ask a lot of questions. Like I used to always ask my mom and my teachers, like, where were you when this happened? Because like growing up, all I saw was YouTube videos and videos. I'm like, did something like this really happen? It's a sad day, but like that was a very sad day. But I know from my aspect, it was just always asking questions because not being able to experience something like that, to me, like it doesn't even feel real that something like that can even happen, especially in our country. So